I'm going to edit a lot of this out anyway, but...
Man. Like the parts where you're talking to us.
Some of those I don't think I'll care. If I'm doing something interesting, I might just silence it. Okay, so here's your rim. I did the paper towel trick on the inside of the galley as well as on the top of the rim. Something you want to get in the habit of doing is using your rib to rib off the slip, because when you start making forms that are as thin as they can stand to be, if you leave the slip on, it will make them collapse, because the slip will soak in, make the clay softer in general, and it will collapse it. To trim away as much excess as I see I need. I left a lot of clay down there at the bottom. I didn't really notice I had. But now is as good a time as any to get rid of it. Really nasty noise. Okay. So, not sure I'm happy with that pot form, but we don't have time to do anything else. I'm going to try and show you really quickly how to do a lid for this. Oh, calipers. These red calipers, I have 2 right now. I originally had 3, went down to 1, went back up to 2. So what you do is you take this end, you need the hooked end pointing towards each other, and then you take these parts, you set them into the galley and spread them as wide as you can go without gouging it. And I float it just above so that it would fit tight. And then when I make my lid, I'm going to measure the outside. This outside measurement is the same as this inside measurement. So when I put this on the outside of my lid, I'll know whether it fits. If it fits on the outside exactly, then I've got a good fitting lid. You want to make your lids about 1/8 of an inch too tight, and then you can trim them to fit. Whereas if you make them just a little bit too loose, you can't do anything to make them fit. They're just going to be too loose, correct? Okay, so last things. Oh, yeah, well, it's the bat I'm looking for. Okay, so pick this one up. I've got gooey fingers, so I'm touching with the sides of my hands, trying not to touch anything too much. I deformed it slightly, so I'm going to press the opposite direction. There we go. Okay, you guys did all hear the cleanup alarm, yeah? You did all hear the cleanup alarm? It's time to clean up. Okay, so let's see how fast I can do this. Okay, so I've got my clay centered. This is to make the inset lid. I'm going to make an entry right here in the very center. That's going to go all the way down. As small as this one is, I'm going to use my pinky so that I don't have it too thick. And I go down all the way until I can feel the wheel head and then press a little bit hard against it so that it's all the way down.
This is for the second, right?
This is for the inset lid. Okay, then over here, I'm going to press down on just the outside of that. and I'm leaving that post. Can you guys all see this? Everybody stop and watch for a second. I'm pressing down right here, like I'm making an entry, but I'm leaving that post there. I usually like to leave the post first and then make my entry on it. Then you take the top and do that little triangle thing to close up the top, but then instead of just making it narrower, you close it all the way off. Get it all the way off, take that little bit off the top and smooth it. Now you've got a hollow knob that goes all the way down to the bottom. Then at this point, you are pulling the rest kind of like a bowl, and you need to flatten it out so it's like a bowl with a galley. So that's how you do it, and then you measure with the calipers to see if it fits. That's actually pretty dang close to perfect, but I've got tons of clay down here that I want to get rid of. So I pull this out just a little bit. Now it's going to be a little bit too tight. Then I clean it up and cut it off.
How do you do one that just sit on top? I'm pretty sure that'll be a little bit easier.
The China hat lid? You split the rim just like you do on the lid to make the galley, but instead of folding the inside in, you fold the outside out. But if you're gonna spend more time on your pot, make it look really nice, then you can retry on your lid 3 or 4 times. You know, if splitting the rim is giving you grief. But then you're stuck with that type of